Today's project is all about capturing texture, and we're going to do that by creating rubbings. Your art kit will include one page of different boxes where you can capture rubbings from different objects. And then there's also just lots of extra paper so you can do more experimenting. It will also have 3 crayons. The crayons are what you're going to use to create the rubbings, but you're going to want to take the paper off first. A rubbing is a way to capture the surface texture of an object. Surface texture is the way different things feel. Bumpy or soft, smooth and hard, fuzzy, maybe a little prickly. To create a rubbing, you're going to hold the piece of paper flat over your object. Using your crayon on its side, you're going to push hard over your object, holding it nice and tight between your fingers, and then push it away from you. You can even pull it back, but make sure you're holding onto your paper so it doesn't slip. So I've looked around the house to find objects from inside, but I also can go outside and do a lot of exploring to find different textures outside as well. It's fun and easy to find lots of different textured objects in your own backyard. Use your fingers first to see if you can feel the different textures on leaves or sticks or bark or stone. Now that I've collected a bunch of different textures, I've picked out a few of my favorite objects that I did rubbings of, and now I'm ready to start experimenting. One thing I like to try is using different colors and creating a pattern using the same object. I use one object and then overlap another in a different color. Now I'm going to try to fill up my whole page with different textures. You can see that I'm not worried too much about where different things are going. Now what I'm going to do is I can create a collage using some of my favorite moments. So I'm going to start by picking a favorite spot on the page, and I really like where this oak leaf overlaps this other leaf, so I'm going to cut that out. And I'm going to cut it in just a big circle, but you can cut whatever shape you want. I like that I got some of the red in there too. Maybe some of this really heavy red and this light red. Maybe that will be my next spot. And I'm just going to keep cutting circles. I'm not quite sure what this is going to look like, or what I'm going to do, or how they'll fit together. So another thing I like to do after I've made rubbings is create a drawing based on some of my favorite textures. You can even start by tracing some of the shapes that you see in your rubbings. And this is just a fun way to experiment and doodle. It doesn't have to be anything, it doesn't have to go anywhere. You get the idea. So I spent some time working on a more finished piece of artwork. I used some of the techniques that I tried when I was experimenting with my rubbings, like using a big rubbing for the background, tracing into the rubbings with crayon and marker. I made this drawing based on the shapes that I found in this little leaf, and I cut and pasted from some of my other original rubbings that I made. So now, since I made this on a folded in half piece of paper, I can use it as a card. I could write somebody a note that I miss right now. What will you make?